Hey, Warren Eckstein here. Over the last 45 years on the radio, and longer than that between TV and radio, there aren't too many questions about puppies that haven't been asked or helped resolve. And I posted recently some puppy behaviors, and I could probably do 100 different segments on it. So I'm going to add to it each and every couple of weeks. This week, we're going to talk about some more puppy behaviors that we need to really understand. There's a lot of errors out there, I hate to sound political, but a lot of misinformation out there about puppy behavior. For example, let's start out today with jumping. I probably get more questions from listeners about puppies that are jumping up on them. And I hear all this advice: push the puppy down, knee the puppy in the chest, yell and scream at the puppy. All of that's nonsense because, as I say frequently, puppies respond to attention. Whether it's negative or positive, it's still attention. So very often what happens is the jumping puppy is a attention getter. He wants more attention and we're giving it to him. What's a better way to resolve a jumping problem with a puppy? First of all, make sure they get a lot of exercise. Very often jumping pent up energy. So make sure they get an awful lot of exercise and mental stimulation as well. But in terms of preventing jumping with a puppy, it's real easy. The same energy it takes to teach a puppy not to do something can be used to teach him what you want him to do. So I would consistently practice at the front door or in areas where the dog's more apt to jump with his basic training. I know what you're saying. He's only 8-9 weeks old. That's okay. You can start educating your dog at 8 or 9 weeks old. Caution, a little bit of time, a lot of patience, and really short sessions, and make it fun. It's a puppy. Here's what I want you to know. When you start working with the puppy, if the puppy starts jumping when he's greeting people or jumping on you, that's when the harness comes out, and that's when he gets a little bit of a 5-minute session at that point. Now, he's getting attention for being good, so what does that do? It teaches him that you get attention for being good, but you're not getting attention for being bad. That can make all the difference in the world. I want you to understand that very often when a puppy's jumping, it's just overload of excitement. So don't listen to that nonsense about kneeing the dog in the chest. I've heard people say, step on his back paws, push him away. No, take the time to use calming exercises. A lot of ways you can do that. Basic training is a good way to calm the dog down. And also, one of the tricks at the beginning to help prevent it is if you know you're having company coming over, a lot of exercise for the dog before they come over. And at the same time, it would be a good idea to find 1 or 2 special items that the dog only gets when people come into the house. So you can replace the jumping with that item before he jumps the first time. We don't want to reinforce it. And so he starts looking for that item when people come over, and it distracts him from jumping. So let's jump to the next one. No pun intended. The next one is why the dog is always raising their paws. A lot of people don't understand the behavior, the psychology of puppy litters. There's some bossy puppies and there's some more submissive puppies. Generally, the puppy that's using their hands a lot, and I say hands because that's what I get on the radio, the dog that's constantly pawing at the guardian is usually an indication of a dog that either is not getting enough attention, realizes that he's getting attention for doing that. These are the attention-seeking dogs very often. There are other reasons the dog may not be feeling well, they may have to go out. Those are things you have to, as a pet guardian. Very often, if you have one of those puppies that's constantly hitting you with the paws, it's usually an indication that they're attention-seeking puppies. And that's usually a sign of intelligence. Take that energy and gear it in different directions, even beyond basic obedience. I don't care whether the dog jumped through hoops. Very often, teaching a puppy new things consistently can really make all the difference. Education, critical. But again, the puppy that's pawing at you, not a big deal. Just a dog that's looking for a lot of attention. Very often, you are the culprit because you're giving him all that attention. I know it's tough when that puppy comes over not to give him attention. Believe me, none of this is 100%. Now, what about digging? There's a lot of reasons that dogs dig. This is another big question I get. We have a backyard. The dog's destroying my petunias, Warren. What can I do? Digging can be a lot of different things. I wrote down a list here. Generally, digging is boredom, getting rid of excessive energy, especially with a puppy. Also, it's anxiety and it's comfort seeking. So what do we do with the dog? And there's a lot of other instincts, hunting instincts, burying things and hiding things. That all takes place. So the question comes up with a puppy. Warren, my puppy's digging up my backyard. What can I do? Well, let me explain something to you. All the thousands of animals I've worked with, I understand one concept. Instinctive behavior can be geared in the right direction, but you can't stop it. Digging is normal behavior. So if you were to go into my backyard and check out Molly and Willie, there's maybe a kiddie pool back there and it's filled with some sand and dirt, and I teased them a little bit and went in there and buried some of their toys, and I dug in there and put new toys in there all the time, changing it constantly. So basically, my yard's not getting dug up. Why? Because Molly and Willie have their own little sandbox. And the backyard's interesting. There's a tetherball hanging. There's this, that, and the other thing. So digging can also mean a lot of other things. It can mean that the dog may not be feeling well, the dog's looking for a cooler place. But in terms of preventing digging from strictly an instinctive behavior, you can't stop it, but you can teach your dog where to dig and where not to dig. And especially when you start with a puppy. It can be done with older dogs too, but starting with a puppy can make all the difference in the world. So those are 3 of the most common puppy things. I want to talk about excessive barking. Let's take a minute for that as well. Puppies whine and they bark. And why do they do that? Again, you notice the constant theme here. Attention. Puppies want attention. They're like babies. So in terms of the excessive barking, here's the mistake that so many people, even in my profession, makes. When the dog's barking, tell it to be quiet, tell them to knock it off, yell, scream, squirt water, whatever they do is absolute nonsense. Why is the dog barking? He's barking to let you know something. He's not feeling well. He's got to go out. He's hungry. The burglar's outside. In terms of the dog barking, for most part, the dog's barking as a way of getting your attention. And in some cases, it's really important. It could be a smoke alarm going on. So what do you do if you have the dog that's constantly barking when people go by the house? And that's usually the calls that I get. When the dog is barking excessively, he's not doing it to be a bad dog. He's doing it to alert you. So I usually go over if my dog's barking. I say, hey guys, thank you. I appreciate you letting me know there's something going on. I'll take over from here. So I handle their barking again in a very calm way. And now when they bark, it's almost like they look back to see if Pop is coming to resolve the situation. So barking can mean a lot of things, but you always have to be that good pet guardian, aware of all the different things that are going on with your dog. I know this is a little bit longer than I normally would do, but the other reason that barking could always be responding to other dogs barking as well. I'll continue doing this. There's so many questions. I've been on the air now for, as I said, 45 consecutive years, the radio show. And there's not too many questions that I don't get asked on the air. Everything from Maureen, why is my dog rolling around in the dirt, which we'll tackle, by the way, or is it possible that dogs can be gay? There's not a question we haven't tackled. Stay tuned with the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Eckstein. Subscribe, and we'll share a lot more information in the weeks to come. Give your pets a big hug and a kiss from me.